Guys, I've been chatting with GTP3, GPT-3 actually. I keep saying GTP, but it's GPT-3 from Open.ai. And I mean, the conversion cut off at many points. Obviously, they're getting like tons of requests, and yeah, it's pretty cool, this tool. I just saw this like or dislike. So, couple of conclusions here. Well, first, you should try the tool out. The sign up is free, and it'll give you a glimpse at where AI is situated as of now slash state of AI. And I'm just gonna cover a couple of my questions here and some main comments. So the answers are like probably 7 on 10, as you can see. My main conclusion is that for very smart people like myself, you know, Chat GTP3, GPT-3 is not like a valuable tool very much, but it can replace basic folks. Um, I have focused on a specific set of questions as of now. I haven't set up other questions with more variables, but yeah, it's cool. Just it's cool. Um, Also, like one thing that kind of caught my attention is how this bot is Silicon Valley-ish scientist ish personality wise, because that's who their creators is, and the way they structure their responses. Um, like many times, um, like I need to find the specific sentence, but is not. It begins with "It is not appropriate to." I used to ask him questions about the longevity of Elon Musk, for example, and it replied like, "It is not appropriate for me to do that." Um, and you can sense like how that's kind of how a scientist would reply to you, some kind of close-minded, cold slash nerdy slash not pretentious, but not as open as someone of my personality. I also started asking the bot about cold email questions, and basically they were replying how cold email is like not ethical, or and about laws and so forth. That's like an interesting opinion. Um, so it's like that I'm like, okay, should I quit what I'm doing now? Like, is what I'm doing evil? And has like specific opinions which I'm not in accordance with. So I asked him privacy based questions, and me, I'm a pretty open person, don't really believe in private. So his response reflect like most humanity's responses. That's like how it is, and my opinion will differ a lot with the open AI. And yeah, I would love a couple of more functions, and keep saying that they're limited and do not have the ability, or whatever. I'd appreciate like better responses when it comes to this, because you can see that artificial intelligence based questions have a different database as per the responses, or a different set of rules when they answer questions about AI. Actually, let me just ask one right here, right now, so you can see what I mean. Is AI an existential threat? I forgot how threat treat. It's threat with threat like this, but anyway. It also spots errors, which is pretty cool. So like it will still detect what I meant by that, which is pretty nice. Um, when I asked business question to the chat, it always replied with this a similar framework, step by step, which is pretty average. So you can see that. I mean, the business knowledge, which is based on what's out there on the web, is still very limited. It's still very, very surface level. So, say that you would follow GPT-3 as advice for starting a business, you'd be likely to fail, because people do not succeed with general advice in business. So, kind of interesting. You can see here. So basically, gave me a response, and it takes the time to chat, to give it a human feeling, which in my opinion is kind of useless. And many times it bugs, so you need to restart, especially when you ask it tough or specific questions. So that is surely interesting. But my review is that it's cool. Practice your question. It practices the quality of your questions as well, and you can get interesting responses. For example, I asked one on porn and OnlyFans, and the response was kind of cool. It's very like leveled kind of response, and I'd like to get answer in terms of percentages as well, and in terms of numbers. I asked it previously, like how would it situate its intelligence on 10. I think I'd place the OpenAI's intelligence on probably on 7, 7 on 10, which is like average, which is like normal human as intelligence, maybe even a bit more depending on where you check. But for example, OpenAI will have answers to question about pretty much any topic. Well, if you ask someone about an opinion on a topic, sometimes they won't even have an answer or an opinion on that. They might not even have studied the topic yet. Ethical views on porn, for example. Um, so still, it's interesting, and I'll try more questions. I strongly encourage you to try it and see for yourself. But yeah, so far so good. Very interesting.